Hey y'all, Chris here from Survival Dispatch. Today we are at the Body Exchange Boxing Club in Ormond Beach, Florida with our good friend Jimmy Arthur, retired U.S. Marine Corps. Jimmy, tell us a little bit about your background and history, hand-to-hand combat, knives, everything, mixed martial arts.
Yes. Well, my name is Jim Arthur. I own a Body Exchange Boxing in Daytona Beach, Florida, Ormond Beach actually, and I own a health club as well. My background started in high school. I got into some amateur boxing and furthered my education in the martial arts field once I got into the Marine Corps. I went in the Marine Corps right out of high school, and in high school I was a pretty good boxer and just took it a step further as I got older in age. And in the Marines, I got a little bit more into judo. I learned a little bit of grappling, ended up winning a state championship in judo in 1996. And by that time, my body was too banged up to do judo anymore. So I started looking at other avenues, and I started boxing again, and then actually getting into Jeet Kune Do, which was created by Bruce Lee and Dan Inosanto. And that's where I learned a little bit of knife technique from the Jeet Kune Do system, from Inosanto Lacoste system. And there's a lot of guys out there that are really deadly with a blade. And I'm decent with a blade, but some of the guys I've trained with are just unbelievable. It's scary what some of them can do. But I've enjoyed the journey the whole way through. I've also got some Taekwondo competition under my belt, tough man fights, all that stuff. So I've been around the block a little bit. Trained in several different styles, Shotokan karate, Shaolin Kempo.
So, specific to knife fighting, we're a survival channel. And so, kind of the survival community always has in the back of their mind, what happens if we have a SHTF event, the shit hits the fan deal. And not everybody has firearms or has them readily available. And sometimes knife is the next best thing. So my understanding is a karambit is a tool that takes some time and practice to become proficient with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially when I have a karambit here in my hand, especially when it comes to working this right here, working with this ring. You can extend out and back in with this ring real easy. So normally you could get people back on the hook on back end that you couldn't get them with a regular knife. There's a lot of advantages to the karambit. There's also a dull side, which is good for hooking and gripping and so forth. Very interesting tool, but it's a lot more skill involved using the karambit than it is using like a straight edge.
Yeah, that's really interesting. There's one country in particular or one discipline?
Yes. So in my opinion, and almost anybody that's in the stick and knife fighting world will tell you that the Filipinos have mastered it. You got several forms of Filipino martial arts. In the empty hand, it's called Panatukan. They also have arnis, Kali, Eskrima, you name it. All of it's a Filipino martial arts, and different schools like Kali or Eskrima or arnis might have little bit different techniques the way they do things, but it's all the same thing. It's all working with knives. It's all working with sticks.
So I know this location is, for boxing and exercise related to boxing, but your other facility is not just a gym. You also teach mixed martial arts over there as well.
Yes. Yeah. I'll do some one-on-one with people. And, if they want to learn some self-defense, I have a Krav Maga instructor certification as well. So.
Okay. And so if somebody happens to be in Central Florida in our area and they wanted to, get some training with knives and karambits and whatnot, that's something they could reach out to you for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, we'll include links down below in the description to Jimmy's two facilities and make it easy for you all to find them if you happen to be here in Central Florida. So I think what we're going to do is we'll cut this part of the video and we'll set up so that you can actually demonstrate some of the techniques with a karambit.
Sounds good, Chris. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Awesome. All right. Here we go.
Hey, everybody. So what I'm going to go through today with the knife technique is going to be very basic. It's what we start everybody off on. It's called the 12 angles of attack. The Philippines were the very first people to ever develop the knife fighting to the extent that what it is now. They're by far the best knife fighters that exist. Whether it's Kali, Eskrima, or Nice, it doesn't matter. Everything varies a little different, but it's all under the Filipino system. So the thing I will show today, the 12 angles of attack, every attack and every angle is designed to either maim or disfigure, kill, whatever. So I'm going to go through them real slow. Don't want to be fancy on you. This is the basics. This is where we start everybody off with. So I got a straight edge weapon with a sock grip, which is a standard grip. The first move I'm going to make is going to slice to the throat, the carotid artery, come back in an X pattern to the other carotid artery, fillet them open, turn the hand over, fillet them open, stab, solar plexus, right into the gut. Then I want to go brachial plexus right here, turn it over, a U, brachial plexus, turn it over, slice the throat, femoral artery, down in a fillet motion, then back up under the chin. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And he's not walking away after that one. If you want to add, as you go on, we start adding the checks in there. You go 1, 2, check. 3, 4, 5, check. 6, 7, 8, check. 9, 10, check. 11, 12. And I'm checking them just to get them off of me. So if he's coming at me after this, I check him. Then I slice him again, check him. That's what the check is used for. But that's how we start. We start with the basic 12 angles of attack. And I was thinking today, what should I show you as a first step into knife introduction? Should I show you a takeaway, a disarm, or should I show you an actual technique? I'm going to show you the technique. A lot of people teach a lot of disarms, and there's a lot of bull crap in it too. You're going to try to disarm somebody with some of the stuff they show, and you're going to end up getting cut real bad. If you're going to go for a guy's knife to begin with, you're probably going to get cut real bad. So I'm just going to show you one simple technique, and you master that, and you build from there. So give us just 1 minute. We'll get set up. Thank you. Okay, so we're back. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a straight edge weapon versus a karambit. And Caleb here is one of my instructors. He runs a real good kickboxing class and a good boxing class. And he's going to be the uke for this demonstration today. So Caleb is going to come at me with a typical untrained person with a knife like you probably encounter on the street. It's just going to be an overhead, just a wild, crazy swing. And I'm going to go over it step by step and then explain everything, why I'm doing it. And then we're going to go at a little bit faster speed so you can see the fluidity of it. So Caleb's going to come at me with an overhead swing like you're really pissed off. So the first thing you got to remember is that in the philosophy of knife fighting, the Filipinos have a saying, you got to defang the snake. So the snake is his arm in this case. The head of the snake is his fist, and that knife is his fangs. So if I take away his fangs, he can't bite me. And that the problem is solved right there. So when he's going to come at me with an overhead grip, overhead swing. First thing I'm going to do right before I check, I get a cut. I get a cut in there so it's almost simultaneous like that. But if you don't cut first, then he still has that knife in his hand and he can hook you like he's doing right now. He can come across my throat with it. Anything that he wants to do with it. So it's very important when he comes, I cut and then I check. Just like that. That's the first step. Now you're going to watch the fluidity of the knife and we're going to go slow. So come at me with the overhead swing. Check. Here. Here. When I punch through here, I'm going through with all my might. I want to feel that blade hit his spinal cord on the way out. He's dead right there. But I'm not finished because he could be amped up on whatever and you don't even know he's dead yet. The beauty of this karambit right here is this hooking motion. I'm going to hook his neck, spin his head, control his head, slice him on the way out, then take the back of his leg, that tendon right there, then I'm out of there. So that's step-by-step motion, and if we speed it up just a little bit, go for it. That's it. Move right there. It's just a simple move, so when you're practicing on your own, get the flow, and you're done. Just practice the flow. Everything on the knife is with the flow. If I can borrow this, Caleb?
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, if I'm going to, this is the Bacall grip, what he was using. The other grip, this is sock. This is standard grip. If I'm using a Bacall grip and I'm trained with a knife, I'm not going to do it like that. Straight edge down against that forearm and cut yourself. I'm going to put the dull edge against my forearm. That's how I'm going to hold it because you can do so many things with it. You can block it, block whatever with this way, and you could come across the throat and slice. So let's say, for example, I'm coming at Caleb, And Caleb, just with your left hand, Caleb, just check, just stop it.
Okay.
So he's stopping it. And you can even hold on the wrist. You can do like this. That's a stop right there. So it's real easy. If I got that knife in my hand, it's real easy just to hook and then run right across the throat. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So again, he's stopping it, hook, run right across the throat. Just run with it. Don't meet force with force. Just flow. Let your hands flow. Now, if he cuts me first, so make a cut motion. Cut first. There. Then I'm dropping that blade. I can't run with it no more. So it's very important when you're doing that. Have you come at me again?
Yeah.
Go for it. So I'm almost simultaneous, but I'm striking the forearm first. Then I'm coming through, opening up, and then punching through, hooking, ripping. That's the most important thing, is get that cut in there first, or else he's going to run with that blade if he knows what he's doing. And then it opens up all kinds of possibilities once he runs. Then I can check here, 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 here. Do all kinds of different moves. You got to get that out of his hand, and the best way to do it is slice those tendons. Back to you, Chris.
All right. Well, thank you, Jimmy, for giving some basic instruction on defending yourself and also going on the offense with knife combat techniques. If you all happen to find yourself in Central Florida, look up the Body Exchange Boxing Club and the Body Exchange Gym, which is a separate facility, and get you some badass training from a badass Marine and MMA guy. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Chris. Been a pleasure. Always good seeing you.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah.